That's a good question. This is God's call. And so I think that it starts with God. It starts with God's heart for people from all walks of life to be together as one. This is Jesus' prayer in John 17, that the disciples will be one, like Jesus and the Father are one. This is Jesus' prayer about thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so I believe it starts with God and me just coming alongside of God's call for my life in terms of also this community. And so as I look at my own life, like I was created to be a biracial male. African-American mother and a white father with German-Irish roots. And so like my whole body, my body is about reconciliation. I've always, from a very early age in life, always asked these questions about division and separation and segregation. Growing up in an African-American church, asking, why is there a white church? Why is there a black church? Why is there a Latino church? If this is God's plan for us to be one, there seemed to be something odd about this. And it was at that same church, Pentecostal church, where Elder David Burchett also prophesied when I was about 12 years old about this building across the street that one day Marion Community School Systems would give to the church. And what I realized is even when I was 12 years old, as the pastor was prophesying, as I got older, I realized that God was fusing me into this story and also other people who would walk alongside of us. And so we bought this building that we're now in for $10 from Marion Community Schools. To plant a new church right in the center of our community that would be about this. And so I look at the history of Real Community Covenant Church, which actually our legal name is Hills Chapel Community Church, which goes back to a church back in the 1800s from my ancestors, African Americans who moved from North Carolina to the north to live out this kind of call of justice and reconciliation, who also worked with whites to lead the Underground Railroad in Marion, Indiana. And so as I look at this, God has always desired to do this. And so I'm not something new coming in here to do something new. This has always been God's story. And God has always used people throughout his story to bring about his work. And so for me here and now, this is the work that God has called me to be a part of here and now. That's how we got here. Yes, there's people in this community who felt the call to live out this vision and who believed in this and said, you know what, I'm committing my life to living this out here and now. And so that's how we started. Where are we going now? Our vision and our mission is reconciling, restoring, and rebirthing. Reconciling, what's that mean? Reconciling to God first, reconciling to your neighbor. So reconciling for us is 4 pieces. Reconciling to God, reconciling to yourself, reconciling to your neighbor, and reconciling with the rest of God's creation. A lot of times we want to be reconciled with others, but we're not even reconciled to ourselves or God. So how can we be reconciled to others? And so there's a process of reconciliation. The second part of this is actually restoring goodness in our community and our world. Shalom, this idea of shalom. And what's that look like through justice, through healing and Sabbath, to live out restoration and this idea of shalom in our community and world here and now. And as a result of doing this work, we should be rebirthing disciples. We should be rebirthing servant leaders. We should be rebirthing healthy missional churches. We just don't do this and do it and sit on it. No, God is an abundant God who created everything out of nothing. So God should be naturally rebirthing disciples, servant leaders, and churches out of a church. There should be goodness being unleashed into the world as a result of us being faithful to God's call. So that's where we're going, living into that mission. Yeah, pray. Western Christians, we do a great job of praying, and I'm grateful for that because I believe all things start with prayer. But we have to learn how to pray with our feet, move into action. This is a tough call and a tough vision. I mean, let's be honest here. This is already uncomfortable for people, right? So this takes time, it takes money, it takes resources, it takes people saying, you know what, I believe in this kingdom vision. I believe in contributing. And so people can pray for us, people can give us money, people can just come down and check up on us, see how we're doing, encourage us, right? We love people, we love relationships, and we have relationships, but the reality is that we need real help. This doesn't just happen. God has provided enough resources for this vision to be lived out here and now.